Hi everyone. Today I will share with you almost 6 years journey with a 3D printer. Exactly with one 3D printer. I bought this PQ B1 um, 6 years ago, and it was my only, let's say, asset to work on. What will I'll show you next. This dryer have been added recently. When I bought the printer, I bought an online UPS for the improve the quality of the print, because there's no fluctuation in voltage or amperage to affect the quality of the print. Anyway, overall the printer is not a direct extruder. Its extruder will be lies in here, and the filament will be go through this incubation. Everybody know that. This is all set up of such a printer. I didn't buy another printer. Somehow I did feel it's okay, but actually it's not. It's an old printer, and I know that. And the quality of the print, the precision of the print is far from good. So I will show you what I did print in, let's say, in chronic order. So the first print which I did made, which is this Ferrari, the 40 exact to be exact. This the scale, I think it's almost 10 scale, maybe slightly more or slightly. It's maybe more, not maybe a 9th scale or an 8th scale. It's almost like a 9th scale. It's big. It was printed from PLA. I have a major accident with it, so yeah, it been broken in many places. So I resolder, or let's say try to rejoin using hot solder. I don't know what you call it. Anyway, we melt and join with using heat. The chassis is a famous chassis from, I think, Duke's Dogs. I don't remember the name, but only the wheels and the wheels and the tires had been changed. The whole body was designed by my brother. I just said 3D using the 3D softwares. I think Blender or something like that. And it was my first project. It's a very nice looking car, and what I love about PLA, the quality of the print always is better than the quality of the other materials. This one was fully let's say fully electrified. I'm not by any means. It has the servo, the ESC, the motor, and the receiver. It was functional, but I have a major accident with it, so I dropped the whole project because PLA was weak. So the second project was this Mustang. I actually use this chassis, which is free to download. I don't know the designer, but I downloaded it from Cults 3D almost 5 years ago. With a slightly modification. The original chassis have a gearbox in the middle with a shaft, and everything is 3D printed. The shaft components and all that. I dropped the 3D component part regarding the drive shaft and the whole gearbox assembly, because I was using the PLA, and it actually I found out that the printer had an issue to, let's say, precise alignment, and the gear always start to eat in themselves and get jammed and stop. So I dropped the whole project, and I simply redesigned this axle with a direct mount of the motor on the axle. So it's the closed axle. And I redesigned the servo mounting plate, and with a slightly small suspension. Here it was the leaves, I think they call it. Yes, leaves, spring leaves, which with time being pressed. While the body, I use another free from Cost 3D, and I adjusted to adjust to the size of my chassis, and from there I made the car. This body is printed by PTEG. Yes, PETG to be more exact. I then polish it, sand it, and all that, but it kept rough surface because I didn't treat it very, let's say, good. Maybe I, let's say, been tired of keep sanding it and sanding it and sanding it. So let's say I was satisfied with the result at that time, and this is why it was my second project. Of course, I have a third project which I will share the picture with you guys. The third project, it was about a 5-door Pajero RC10 12 scale to be more exact. It was a good project. It was functional. I used some components, but I dropped the whole project. Because the body is also printed from PLA, and I have suffered from, let's say, major accidents again, and the body fracture. So I dropped the whole project again, and let's say reharvested or reused the components we've been using in the Pajero, and I destroyed the whole car. And I switched it to a future project, which I will share with you now. Here is the third project, which is the Humvee H1. Until now, it is not complete because should be a gun-mounted system in here, but I didn't, let's say, done it yet. I have to do in the future. The first time I use a new material at the time, which called the PLA Plus. What I love about this material is it's a very high quality material, and at the same time it is more stiff than the normal PLA, which is the PLA Plus. The good thing about this car, almost everything in the car is functional. If I'm talking about the front hood, this is the rear hood, the rear trunk, front hood. Doors are functional, with even with the, if you see it carefully, there's some door knobs which are functional. You put in some metals in here, and everything is functional perfectly. Of course, it's not that perfect, so it's locked now. See, the same store in here. I've put just a small metal links here, and it's fine. It stand the time, and this project like 4 years now, and it's functioned very well. Most of the components were built using PLA Plus, but I let's say reprinted the chassis with the arms using PETG. I reused the gearbox from the Pajero, which I told you before, and used it in this car. Let's say 90% of the car or more, they are 3D printed, but the last things which I didn't 3D print is the differential in here and in here. Even the gearbox in here is 3D printed. If you see it carefully, there's a gearbox here. Yes, if you see it carefully, yes, there's a gearbox, and the motor mount. There's two gears and a pinion gear, and another gear, and the spur. And the car is a 4-wheel drive, open 4-wheel drive. This axle and this axle is actually open 4-wheel drive. I love this project because it's functional, especially the doors and all the components. I didn't complete the lights. I don't know why, but I left the project here. Maybe I'll try to continue with it. Yeah, I did some enhancement on it, but anyway, it's for me it's enough as a functional. It provide a good, actually good quality. I didn't sanded this truck much, very little sanding actually, and the lines, it's it's an easy car to print because most of the lines are let's say straight lines and not that sanding is needed. Let me jump to the next project. Okay, this project, which is the and Drift RC. The idea is I keep seeing the drift cars. I didn't have at the time a Drift RC, so I decided to make one. And I searched the internet, so I looked for a great chassis. There was the Yokomo, I think, and there was also an. So the substitute was now I remember the chassis. The chassis is actually the MST. So I was between this and that, and I choose the Yokomo because the Yokomo was, let's say, more what can I say? More let's say, more have a better review. So I tried to recap the Yokomo. Anyway, so I designed the project. I make it a Yokomo, almost Yokomo, of course, and it's 3D printed. This is PLA plus, PLA, and some parts a PTEG, or yes, this is PTEG, and the card function not bad, but and also I have an accident with it, so I have accident with it and reprinted it again and accident again. The part where we're weak, the link where the whole car, because I 3D printed it, the car, let's say the components were very juggly and they're not let's say firm because of the design of Yokomo using better plastic, metals and all that. I was only limited with the slight metals, and most of them is of course it's a 3D printed parts. Anyway, I already designed the chassis in mind, but there will be increasing in length and all that. So I redesigned the servo mount to make it more, let's say, more one which I can use for, let's say, better, more, let's say, steer. And the Yokomo, because it's 3D printed, the steering angle was narrow, and this one is better. Again, it uses the direct motor mount with a gearbox, all its PLA, and this one did stand the time. I don't know why, but it did stand the time. I ran this car like, I don't know, 50 times. And the pinion gear did stand the time, the spur did stand the time, and the gearbox is also it's a closed gearbox. It's a closed one, but the components is actually the dog bones and all that. Of course, I'm using ball bearings and all that, but they did stand the time, and I was very astonished about the performance and the design. Put it in mind, this is a 6 years old printer. Yep. So this is the 5th project which I did make. Okay. This is the 6th project. This is an 8 scale Pajero SWP. This was, let's say, being inspired by an Australian rally. I have a, let's say, I love this car because I had one. I had a car, but not a 3-door or 4-door type, and so I love the design of the rally car, and I have inspiration from it. So I redesigned the car based on the rally version which I saw in the internet, with an LS engine and other components being fixed on. Anyway, the car is an 8 scale. It's a big scale. Until now, the car is not finished, but let's say it's finished like 95%. Only the light system is not finished. The light mount is there, but I didn't place the lights until now. and it's a big car. It's almost 55 centimeter in length. Printed this car using a different material, mainly using PLA plus and PETG. PETG mainly, and then the PLA. I make the rear door open for maintenance and placement of the components, electric components. It's a four-wheel drive. I redesigned the. Oh, not redesigned. I designed the whole car anyway. Sorry to tell. The Humvee and this one, it's been designed by me completely. Okay. Other parts, they may be, let's say, some borrow from a free version of the internet and try to readjust it and refigure out how to style it too. But this one is mainly designed by me. I uploaded many pictures on the internet of the chassis and tried to make my own version of the chassis to resemble the original part, but I remake something which I prefer to use for my chassis. Anyway, this is the car. Basically, it was, let's say, it's a monocoque chassis, but this one, it's not a monocoque chassis. It's a ladder frame chassis. It's a chassis has been mounted on, let's say, been screwed to the body, resembling the monocoque chassis, but it's not a monocoque chassis. Anyway, this is the motor. It's a big motor, 775, with the reduction gears, being 3D printed. I only needed to change the gearbox once, gears here in the middle differential once only, and it's actually functioning good regarding its size and the quality of the car. Anyway, and the weight of the car. If you see the components, this is the front arms, rear arms, the suspension, and all that. Of course, the tire is not 3D printed, while the wheels it is. This is the I use a joint between them because I'm limited in materials. I cannot use the whole thing as a 3D printed axle because it will fracture, and I know that when it's increasing in length, the torsional force will mainly make a breakage or disfigure the whole thing anyway. So I shortening the joining the spur or shaft to making less force, and I use this in the Humvee. The same idea. I repeat it in here. The body, the chassis is, as I said, PETG. Mostly the chassis component is a PETG, while the body mostly is a PLA and PETG again. Of course, the front bumper and rear bumper, I'm using TPU to absorb some of the collision. You see, I reinforced because I did break this, so I reinforced it with the hot welding anyway. Yeah, and the car did function very beautifully actually. I love this car. One of most, let's say, one of my best projects which I ever done. It take me 1 year actually to complete because I made a mistake. I 3D printed it using PLA, and I sprayed it and I left it on the sun to dry. I didn't know the PLA was very. I know it's not heat resistant or UV light resistant, but I didn't know it's that weak. And the whole body crumbles and the distortion of the car. I was very angry and very sad because it's a big car, and I used maybe 3 kilos to completely finish the car, and I lost 3 kilos before. And at the time the kilos was not cheap. Now it's more or less available and more cheap actually. Anyway, this is my 6th project. Okay. Well, this is the laser. Yeah, from Chevrolet, I think. Yes. This project, it's actually I downloaded the body from Cult 3D. Just download it and 3D printed, and with slight adjustment to using the normal chassis.
Let me just show you. A second. Okay. I think I did. Yeah, it's open from here. Oh, it's not here. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Yeah. I mounted some lights on it, and the 3D printed plate, which didn't fit very well, but I adjusted anyway. I have some extension to the lower base, and the car worked wonderfully. It's one of my best capable WPL to be more exact. I did love the project. Even the mirrors have metal links in here. I designed these, I think. Maybe I'm not sure. Maybe yes, I did design that. Yeah. And I I sand the whole body, and I think I printed using PLA plus. Yeah. It's a working car and a very capable car. This one is the dually Dodge Ram, which I make maybe a year ago now. This car is almost finished. Maybe I don't know if it's finished or not. Yeah, I'm waiting for to installing the lights. That's it. So this one, I bought a body. I bought the body 3D, of course, the 3D printed body from Cult 3D. It will be found there, and redesign the mirror to accommodate my needs, because the original one was fixed, but I designed to make it, to fold it like that. So I think I make a great job with it. And also redesign the rear bay. I always say I don't know what you call it. Also, I 3D printed the chassis, the frame leather chassis, extending arm, mounting points, and using I changed the metal shaft in here to a new one to accommodate this part. Yep, and the rest is actually metal, which I bought it. I think this is an MM model. The Dodge Ram is a big car, and this is a 14 scale. So the idea is to compare it to the other WPL cars, which they say are 16, but actually they are not 16. They are much more like 15 or 14. So the size comparison actually was more compatible to do it in this size. See, this is the 16 scale shell, and it is slightly smaller. So I redesigned and make it a 14 scale. It's now more, let's say, more accurate. If you see, so it's in all perspectives is smaller. It's like 2 centimeters and is smaller. So I redesigned, and also I readjust the whole length anyway, because the 3D part of the 3D model which I bought, I think the setup was not like that. The setup is different, so I readjusted to to be exact with my requirement. It's a good project. I love this car. It's capable. It's very capable actually. I make a video about it because it's a dually setup. It's a very fun car to drive, and these tires actually the wheels are 3D printed, while the tires is actually from Lego. Yeah, from Lego set. I love this one. Okay, this one everybody knows this car, which is the WPL C24, which is the WPL C24. I did bought the 3 type of this vehicle, and it has I think it has a 3 version. Anyway, this is the first version. I put it used, and with an old electronics, I scramble the whole thing, and I use the chassis for my Blazer, and so the body was sitting still. So I decided to make it, as low as much I can, and make it as a drifter. So I 3D printed the tires, 3D printed the whole chassis. The chassis are different setup. We have a rear axle, middle motor, middle gearbox, gearbox, or differential anyway. I don't know. The gears is actually being taken from 16 scale and an RC, which I don't know, maybe HBX or something, I don't know. While the rear arm, the front arms actually, I don't know if they are. Yeah, the front arm is actually, for some reason, the car is stiff. I don't know. So I designed the chassis and make an adjustment to it to make a front independent suspension, while the rear suspension is actually simply an axle and a shock absorber instead of leaves. Yeah, and it's drive not that good actually, but it drifts slightly. So it's a nice project actually, which I want to share with you guys. Okay. Because I love RCs, actually not RCs, I love cars. So this car is actually simply is in an HSP. Okay. So the chassis is in an HSP 94123. There is a free version of the rear-wheel drive conversion of this chassis to make it a drift chassis. I have 3D printed the wheels with tires, like a one compartment. So I make a driftable wheels, and the front setup is completely is for drifters. So you see the angle, it's like that. A very nice setup, which I did enjoy. 3D printed and easily fitted and easily fixed and easily modulated. To have a great variety of adjustment to it. I don't know the guy, but you can find the chassis there in Cults 3D. Yeah, and it also the guy that shared a complete YouTube for its build. So, and I slightly just make adjustment for the mounts. The body is actually PETG body, completely PETG. 3000, the Mitsubishi GTO 3000. It should be the light. I did find this chassis on the internet and slightly make an adjustment to it. I have a 3D printed design of it, which did I make, but the problem with that body, I did I'm using 3D software a long time ago. Let's say the model is actually not have much planes. I didn't put in mind in the future that I was a 3D printer. So the different, it need a lot of, let's say, time to convert it to 3D printed ones, and also the light. I think it was 1995 version. Let's say the fish eye. I think it has the design of the fish eye. So it's not the best looking. This one is, for me, this is the one best looking. The second one is the 2001. So yeah, and simply just a mounting plate. And I did adjust this body to being 3D printed, and have also a TPU front and rear bumper to stand impacts in time. And that's it. This I think this is my 9th project. This one is very functional. I always love the design of it, and I did polish it enough, but sometimes the printer is actually lacking that surface details. This is a lot of sanding, and I reached this stage. I only printed it in 2 pieces. This is the front piece and the rear piece. I don't know if you see, this is the jointing point in here. So to share my experience with you guys. Why I did separate this bumper, because the bumper will need more support. So I just separated. In the same time, I used the TPU to make it, let's say, to hit two goals in with one. Let's say to hit two birds with one stone, which is the first bird is I printed in a TPU. The second bird less amount of support and material. This is the 8th project. Let me share with you the last project. Okay, this is the last project, which is the W40 Mercedes S-Class. Okay, let's talk about it. This is, the size of this car is a salon car. So when I decided to make it using the HSP model, the problem with the HSP, the 94123, the wheelbase is short. It's more like it's been set up for two-door cars, let's say the coupes, let's say, or short wheelbase car. So this one is a long chassis, and the good thing, actually, I had this chassis, which is the 941111. This chassis, I think the wheelbase is 27 centimeter, so it's longer in 1.5 centimeter, and the body, if I want to make it a 10 scale, it should be in this, let's say, this size. It will be more, let's say, it will be more accurate to try to fit the size with the body, with the scale of the car. Anyway, so when I made the car longer, the problem arises here with the arms. The arms of the HSP actually longer. So when I made it with this 10 scale, this car is long, and at the same time, it's not that narrow. It's actually a wide car, but regarding this scale, to fit it on this chassis, I needed to, redesign the arms to make it shorter. So I did the front one and the rear one. The front one is simply, I found also most of the parts, I didn't design the parts. Most of the parts, they are not designed. They are being borrowed from Cult 3D, but I make an adjustment on it because the fitness of the parts, it need measurement, and I don't have that, let's say, facility to do so, and time actually to be more accurate. So I just resize it to try to mimic the real design and the real width. The front part, if you see it, is the same. It's the same. I use it from the front rear-wheel drive conversion of the drift car, been also found in Cults, but I redesign some parts in it and to make it fit. Yes, to make it fit, and use some parts. Anyway, the chassis mount is actually mid-mount because I didn't have an spare gear in here to develop such a develop in a way. I was rushing because I in the near future I will have the rear gearbox will be real differential will be I did buy one, but I'm not ordering it. I'm waiting for it for arriving, and I will reassemble the whole thing anyway and make a space for the battery to be mounted in. Anyway, so the wheels is not 3D printed. The wheels is being borrowed from another car, and another project which I drop it because put in some drift wheels, so I use this one. It's the style of it is very lovely style. About using magnets. These magnets were being weak, so I couple of times I've seen the body moves, so I installed the, let's say, alignment points, and at the same time it will prevent the body from shifting right to left or to the sides. If you see the body here, it's like alignment points, and the magnets will do the rest. The same idea is using the body is actually being in two pieces. The shell, to be more exact, is in two pieces. Okay, and the bumper, the rear bumper, and the front bumper and the rear bumper being separated, and I 3D printed the mountain points on it, or let's say just on it, and put it on it. The body, I didn't design the body. I bought it actually, to be more exact. So I rework it and to just to fit my requirements. Here's the front part. I repainted everything and smooth as much as I can. This card I did smooth it a lot, and maybe it's have a better, let's say, better looking than the other cars. And when you, of course, so I needed to adjust it and adjust the steering angle to be more, because I can, when you bring when you do this stuff, design the stuff, you have to put in mind the suspension, the tire rubbing in the front and rear, all that being checked up, and now it's worked perfectly. It needed multiple adjustments, and I did manage to do so. At the same time, have a good look, and I think I will end my video here. The point of the video is actually to 3D print parts, actually, or let's say 3D print RC. It's a fun project, but it needs a lot of time and need a lot of attention to details. To put in mind, you have a lot of components, because let's say simply I use this project as an example. The problem is not with the bodies. The only problem with it is just the fitness and the surface details. For me, the surface detailing and the fitness was a very hard thing to do, because the printer was very old. So I'm planning on buying a new printer in the near future. I don't know when, but in the near future I will try to buy one. While this one is actually the hard thing to do is actually alignment of these components. So I printed these, let's say, links between the lower arm and the upper arm, which these links will hold, let's say, the hubs, or I don't know what we call it. I think the hubs, these hubs, or the stop axle or something like that. These ones will hold the ball bearings and hold the tire, and also the dog one will be connected to it, and all that need a precision, and that precision is actually hard to for me, and this printer had to make and design and try to align it and putting that in mind. The printer is old printer, so actually I think this is actually make my projects much harder to do. Yeah. I think this is enough for me now, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did like the channel, and if you guys have any questions about the design, I think I will upload the video and try to put links for everything which I did download it from, and how managed to install and all that. I think the 3D YouTube, sometimes they don't allow me, because I have a lot of subscribers. They don't allow me to put some links. I tried a couple of times and they didn't allow me, so that's a bad thing actually. So I will try to share the links with you in the comments for every car which I make. Everyone, if you want to ask me what I did bought from this body, from where did I bought it from, or the body I did design, actually the bodies I did design, these projects I did uploaded. Most of the things I did work on this workhorse, the LMSI. Anyway, some of these parts need using hand tools to adjust it, and it's actually hard to do. It's time consuming. There is no finished model from my side to being let's say being sold. I do this for hobby, and again, I hope you enjoy it. But for me, if you want to go on this line will take time, and you need expertise, especially in 3D modeling, and also some physics, let's say some engineering to be more exact. Yeah. Thank you very much. Again, if you did enjoy the video, please subscribe. It will help me very much because I want to develop my projects and develop my passion actually in this. Because when I was young, maybe I'm 4 years, I did draw cars and draw trucks because I did love like truck cars. Anyway, thank you very much and goodbye.